guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming to you with another video review. And on today's episode, thanks to the folks at Mattel, we're going to be taking a look at their new 1/10 scale remote control Ultimate Justice League Batmobile. This is absolutely spectacular. I have been playing with this for the entire day and I am in love with it. For the package, really large box as you can see here, and in the front you have what kind of looks like Batman's chest. You got his logo right there and then what looks like abs and stuff, but then you got some little images down here of the Batmobile. You come around here to the side and you have a whole bunch of different product shots, its features, actual interactivity of it and things of that nature. You come around to the back, you got a really cool image of the back of it. The bottom here has a really cool image of the front of it. And then when you come to the back of the package, you got, well, it's like this, but another really cool image of the Batmobile itself, with a gorgeous logo here showing Justice League, Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, Aquaman, Cyborg, and of course, The Flash. Now, one thing that's neat is it does have a bit of a slip cover that you can just slide this whole section out just like so. And then on the inside, you have some of those kind of elements that carry over, like for example, the Batmobile logo, or I'm sorry, Batman's logo. You got images of Batman standing alongside the Batmobile. Again, the front of it, you got another image of the side with a front image now of Batmobile. And then you have another back image. And then it does slide out from the bottom. You can see it's empty underneath here. And then what you're left with is this. Now, getting in the way, this is absolutely terrific. You see, you have something of a display stand right here, which really is very nice. Coming down so you can see it nicely. You can see a really nice kind of pattern on here, kind of giving it a rocky or cement kind of look, and then you can see it is on a bit of a slant. So that if you wanted to use this as a display, you absolutely could. And I think it looks terrific with it. You also have like this kind of rocky section right here. But I like the fact that it is done up on a slant right here so that you can kind of see more the top and get a much better appreciation of the Batmobile. But taking this, lifting this up, now there is, I don't want to say some assembly, but there is some assembly that is required. I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it anyhow. So setting this there, when you slide this out, all the accessories are actually stored on the back of this. You just lift this up. It's little tabs and such. So you just lift that away and all the accessories and everything will be stored on the inside here. But I like the fact that you can reuse this. And if you're careful, you can remove all of this. And like I said, still use this as a display piece. But this is the Batmobile, and it is massive. As I said, this is 1/10 scale. So going from kind of the tip here in the very back, get that there, to the very front here, you're looking at about 23 inches long. And then in terms of height, you got roughly, get my head out of the way. It looks like about 8 inches tall or so. I mean, it's probably a little bit taller here at the back, but what's cool is it actually gets a little bit taller. Now, one thing that I do want to talk about first is an included figure with it, which is really very nice. Getting him out, he gets in there very snugly. You get a fully articulated Batman figure that you can drive this guy around in. And this is actually really very well done as well. You can see you got that nice armor look with him, the Batman logo. He's wearing his little goggles. Come around here to the back, you can see that he actually does have a nice cloth cape. Now, initially, I didn't think that this figure was gonna really do too much, but like I said, it's fully articulated. His head does rotate. It actually feels like it's on a slight ball joint. It just doesn't really get much up and down, but it does feel like it is on a ball joint, but you can see little up and down with it. Side to side, the shoulders do rotate forward to back. They move in and out, not a ton. That's about as far out as the shoulders are going for him, but he does rotate at the upper part of the bicep here. He does rotate here at the elbow area, and then he also does move forward and back. He also does rotate at the wrist. He has an ab crunch, which is nice, rotation at the waist. Hips move forward and back. They don't move in and out, but that's a pretty good range of motion anyhow. You got nice bends here at the knee and then nothing at the ankle. But a lot more articulated than I thought this guy was going to be. The main purpose of this is to have him sit in the Batmobile. And what's kind of cool is that the joints here are a little bit looser. You can see a little bit floppy. It's designed that way on purpose because what you do is you come around, and best way to do it is kind of take the cape and tuck it in like that, kind of hold it, and then you slide them back into the Batmobile, and slide him down and in. And then what you can do is you can take the hands, and this does get a little bit tricky to get his hands because there's not a lot of clearance in there, but you can get his hands, which are in a nice kind of C grip, as you can see there. You can get him holding the steering wheel, and I'll show that functionality off here in a bit. But as I said, this is a remote control car. So just showing you this kind of as I don't recommend doing this, but you can move that and you can see things move. The steering wheel also does move, and the looseness of the joints allows him to look like he's steering, which is phenomenal. That's a really cool additional play feature. Obviously, like I said, you get him down there, and then you close this, and you have him driving around in the Batmobile. Now, as I said, there is some assembly that is required. The front missile section here does have to be attached. These all have to be attached. Well, this, I know, comes off fairly easily. So you have this giant cannon, the 2 Gatling guns here on the side, this giant missile launcher here in the front, which I want to make sure is straight. And then also lifting this up on the side, these pieces here also do need to be attached. Now, these can be removed fairly easy. As I say that, kind of hold from the bottom because it does have like a little piston thing here. You don't want to damage anything, but pull that away, and that makes it a little bit easier to actually access one of the parts that you will need access to play with this. Now, in addition to everything that obviously you see here, you do get a set of instructions with it, which you do need to go through. It does have all the accessories listed right there, shows how to attach everything for the assembly, the charging of the battery, which includes the charger as well as the battery itself, how to install the battery, and then how to actually control it. You utilize an app which is available on the App Store or Google Play. And again, I'll show that off here in a bit. And then how to prepare the Batmobile, such as putting the figure in. The Batmobile itself does fit most 6-inch figures, as the Batman figure is about 6 inches or so. How to install the smoke liquid, how to switch it on. And then on the back here, it basically goes through all the features that it has and the various safety tips. What I want to show you is right now the detail on this. So I'm going to pick up my camera and just come in here to take a look at the various details. You can see really nice molded in parts like the little bullet chambers that attach to the Gatling gun. Great detail here with this front missile launcher. Again, great detail all the way around this entire thing. You got several light up features, which you will see. Great coloration on here. It's a very, I don't want to say it's black. This is more black. This is a much more kind of like dark gray, but it looks gorgeous. And you can see it has a very nice and heavy duty. I mean, I was feeling around here and it feels like plastic, but it has a cool touch to it. So it has a very metallic look. You can see great detail in the engine parts here. Nice paint with the little missile sections. You got some paint on the inside there as well. Come around here to the front area, you can see you got a little screen right here where the little giant cannon, I shouldn't say little giant, that's completely redundant, but great detail here for the tires. The tires are rubber, so you do get a nice traction on there when you're moving this guy around and playing with them. Come around here to the back, again, great detail with the sculpting, some nice paint variation here, like with some pipes, some gold, got a couple little gold bits right down here. Again, nice piston work that holds up these little kind of fan blade looking things. You come around to this section, got some nice paint added on there. Come around here to the paint section so you can see that a little bit better. It says do not touch. You got something right on there. It says caution. Absolutely terrific amount of detail, and the paint is really quite substantial as well. Now I want to open this, lift this up. You got the cockpit. On the inside here, you also have some nice color detail with the instrument panel. You can come around here. This is a section that will light up as well, but you can see some nice control panel detail and such, which it really does come together very nicely. Now, as I said, everything that you need to control this is included. You do get this super speed 9.9 volt battery charger. As you can tell, you got a fairly long wire on here, which works perfectly. Now, one aspect that I do wish that they did a little bit differently was the way that they put the battery in. You do need a screwdriver. I wish it was a little bit easier, and you need a fairly long one to be able to reach in there and unscrew this. I wish there was a way that they could have done it where it didn't require a screwdriver, maybe just have it clip on there. One minor little thing that I wish they would have done, but again, you see really nice detail in there. And then the battery, this does get a little bit tricky to pull this out as well. I don't want to obviously damage anything. So pull that out just like that. You have the little connector bit right here. Separate that, and here is that super speed 9.9 volt lithium ion battery. Now, the thing that's different about lithium ion batteries is, unlike AA batteries where the charge slowly goes away over time, this will pretty much stop when it's done. And then you do have to recharge it, and then to put it back in, connect that, make sure that that's latched in there. And then again, this is a little fiddly to get all this in, but it's kind of fit all that in, get the wire in there. I don't like the fact that the wire kind of has to be put in like that. It makes me worried about the actual wires themselves. So getting that in as much as I can, then you just push that all the way in just like so. Take this, clip this on the bottom section, and then screw this back in. The next thing that you need to do is add the liquid smoke. So what you do is you come around here to the back, like I said, remove this top section, set that off to the side, and then you got this little piece right here. Just reach in here, and it's rubber, so just fold that back out of the way. You got a little port right there, and then take your little liquid smoke bottle, kind of get that out of the way, and put several drops of that in. I don't know how much it takes, but I'll just add a little bit here like so. Replace the cap just like that. Then you can bring this piece back in and line this up here. Give that a little push and lock that into place. And then you're basically done. You come around here to the very bottom and you have the on and off switch right there. So reaching underneath there to toggle them on, you're gonna hear some really cool startup stuff. Then there you go. As you can hear, loud. One thing that I really like is that the sound, they say, is proportional to the size of the vehicle. The next thing that you need to do is come to your app, which, as I said, is available on Google Play or the App Store. It's the ultimate Batmobile Rc app, so we're just going to launch that. That gets that whole startup thing going, and then it goes through and it checks the link. Now, it's going to ask for a novice pilot or a secure pilot. I'm just going to do the novice one. It does ask for some security, so you tap the Batmobile, it puts a little password there. Then you have to go to the Wi-Fi settings and find the Batmobile. As you can see, Batmobile is listed right there, so we're going to connect to that. Then we're going to, well, as you can see, it is connecting still. It's connected, then you go back to this, and this should copy to clever. Okay, now it's initializing the navigation link, and this is the screen that you're going to see with it. One thing that's cool is it shows me. You can see me right there because there's actually a little camera right inside there. So, hi everyone. Absolutely spectacular. You're going to see a whole bunch of junk right there, but now what you have, you on the left hand side, you can move forward and back. I'm doing it here on my table, so you're seeing the controls both on the screen as well as on the review, and you can hear the throttle sound increases as you move it forward. You have an authentic backing up sound that does get kind of loud, as you can plainly hear, but really awesome. And then you have the buttons here on the right, which allow you to turn the wheels. Now, turning this around so that the camera, my review camera, can see it, you can see, oh, and there's me again. You can see doing that, which is really amazing. I'm absolutely really impressed with that. Now, you can change the way that the layout is. Like I said, you have the forward and back, and then the left and the right. If you don't like that, you can go to your settings. You can go into the actual settings, and you have the top section here, which is the controller layout. You can have a joystick or a slider. Switching to the joystick, exiting out, just puts that one button there on the left, which allows you to control it just like so. So I'm a little bit more used to that. That's probably what I'm going to go with. So really amazing. Now you can see on the bottom there a whole bunch of different options. So let me see if I can. I'm trying to control this guy a little bit more professionally than I was going to try. So you can also turn the camera off. I'm going to turn the camera off so that you can see that. You got a little roundabout sort of wireframe image of the Batmobile. The control is still there, but now what you can do, and we're just, you know, look at that, but on the bottom left are the different features. So number one, you can turn on headlights. So flipping that switch, you can see that the lights here turn on, and you can turn those off as well. So really very neat with that. You do have this giant cannon right here that can be toggled up. So when you push that button, it raises it. And again, you can hear the sounds. And as I say, it's a little bit louder than I think, but they say it's proportional. So I can't complain too much. So you have that. Now, one thing that I love, I'm going to switch the camera back on. And there's me again. So because this is from Batman's point of view, and then obviously you can close this and put that down. I'll do that. You just kind of wedge that in there like that. You can see he's now looking through his window. But what's cool, with his heads-up display, with the cannon up, on the right side are different little buttons that you can use in terms of weapons. The far right one shoots missiles that are from here. But when you have this up, the far left shoots a giant mortar cannon, and you can see that the interface actually, the view screen actually moves up. So a giant camera does that. Absolutely wicked awesome. Now you also have these cannons right here, which are the little Gatling gun ones. Now I'm going to put the big giant cannon down. These little Gatling guns, this is awesome as well. Number one, you can see they rotate, which is great. And then on the app, you can actually see like bullet firing. And that is amazing. I love that little interactivity. And then you have the little missile section here. Oh. Come on, calm down. You got the little missile section right here, which the missile there on the far right, you can see different smoke streams coming from these. So the fact that you got a camera with the app, in addition to being able to remote control it and actually have some animation in there, is phenomenal. I absolutely love that. Now, those are the different weapons that you can play with. Setting that down, I'm going to come around here to the side because, as I talked about, he actually does get a little bit taller. Pushing this button, well, you can still see the screen, but pushing the button second from the left puts him in what they call like all-terrain or off-road mode. It lifts up his back section, and then you can see it lowers back down. And again, you get those sound effects in there as well. And you can hear the idle still goes on and on. One of the coolest parts, though, that every Batmobile ever has always had a little exhaust or a flame thing there in the back of it. And the best part is this does as well. The cool thing about it is it actually smokes. We put the smoke in there. So now, again, on the bottom left, the second from the right is a little cloud. You hit that, turns the light on, and you can actually see smoke billowing from the Batmobile. I mean, real smoke, guys. That is awesome. Absolutely spectacular. You can see it gets all over the place. I mean, that is one of the coolest accessories on a Batmobile I've ever seen. It does turn off over time so that you don't have to worry about wasting all of your liquid. I will say you do get a fairly good bottle of it, and it just requires a few drops to be able to create that. I don't know where you can get more of this, to be honest. That does kind of bother me because I would like to have a lot of it, but that is absolutely incredible. I'm absolutely in love with that. Like I said, Batmobiles have had the light up thing for years, and none of them have actually had the smoke. But again, like I said, all those cool features really are impressive, but we gotta get this guy out on the street. Now, it doesn't recommend driving around on the street, but to see what this guy can really do, you need to see him opened up. All right, here we go. We got him out here. Got a little bit of smoke coming from there. There you go. Which is amazing. And again, you can control it by just moving the little toggle thing up and forward and back. You can lift it. You can lower it. You can put the front. There, we're going to turn the smoke off. You can put the headlights on, as you can see. And now let's drive them around. They say that it can get up to about 5.5 miles, which is, I mean, that's how fast it can go. So let's see. Oh, wow. That is actually pretty darn quick. I mean, and again, you're able to see where Batman's going with this. Pretty good range, too. And then you can blast things. I mean, just awesome. So awesome. And you can still control him with him lifted like that. So much fun. So much fun. This is an outstanding toy. And again, now wanting to come out here so you can see this, on the inside here you can see all those instrument panels laid up very nicely for Batman. And again, it is a little bit tricky to get his hands to hold the steering wheel. You can do it, and then when you move it from side to side, you can kind of see his body shifting. There, you can also see me with the screen share. So you can see his hands moving as I move the wheel back and forth. So really cool. I mean, honestly, I'm not a huge remote control car person, but everything on this is insanely well done, to the point that this is, I'm honestly without words. It really is very cool. Now, this is a brand new piece by the folks over at Mattel. And again, I do want to send them a very huge thanks for sending this out to me to review. Because as much as this is a review, it really is just me playing with it. It is just that much fun. And then when you want to turn it off, you come to the underside again, find that little switch, which I can never do, or you can just pick it up and look and then flip the switch, and that turns the actual engine off. Now, as I said, this is a brand new piece, and it will be hitting various retail locations, I think, by now, or it should be hitting fairly soon. But what I'm going to do is put a link to Amazon, and that'll be right down in the video description, where you can either pre-order this guy or pick it up. I want to say the 30th is when this is due out. And while this is an expensive piece, at $250, it's without question, in my opinion, well worth that price. The build quality is phenomenal. You can see absolute gorgeous paint detail that I don't think I was picking up when I was in my kitchen. You can see a lot of nice wear and stuff on there, and then you can see the different tones of the very dark, kind of gunmetal gray on it. I mean, everything is really well done. You get a figure with it. It's got all the interactivity with the different weapons and those being animated, as well as one seriously awesome app that allows you to see where the Batmobile is going through a little camera right there. I mean, this is absolute fun. And while some people may not be a big fan of the way that this Batmobile looks, I actually am. It really does have a nice kind of feel from the Christian Bale movies and then the Arkham video games. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, for Batman, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget that if you like this video, to please let me know by hitting that thumbs up button. It really does go a long way towards helping me out, and I would absolutely appreciate it. Also, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe in case you haven't already subscribed. It's free, and you'll get instant email notifications whenever I upload a new video, and you'll never miss out on a future review of mine. And if you don't, little Luna will cry. Yes, she will.
Luna! There she is. Hi, Luna. Meet the little goblin.
You guys don't ever get to see her. Or hey, if you already subscribed, now more than ever it's important to make sure that you're getting those email notifications. We all know just how terrible the YouTube subscription box is, and the best way to make sure that you never miss a future review of mine is to click on that little bell right below this video and double check your settings to make sure that they're set so that you get those email notifications. And as always, until next time, be excellent to each other.
Come together.